Hebrews 10 verse 19 to wherever I finish, really. Having therefore, brethren, boldness to enter into the holiest by the blood of Yeshua. Enter into the holiest by the blood of Yeshua. What did the blood of Yeshua do? It redeemed us from sacrificial law and brought us back into covenant with his Father. Oh, that's all wonky. Oh, I don't like that. He brought us back into covenant with his Father. His blood, he had to perform the mercy and remember his covenant, Luke 1:72. Verse 20, by a new and living way. So that word new in the Greek is kainos, which means to be made fresh, and living way, which he hath consecrated for us through the veil, that is to say, his flesh. So by a refreshed and living way, what does the Messiah say? If you choose to enter into life, keep the commandments. And having a high priest over the house of God, let us draw near with a true heart in full assurance of faith, having our hearts sprinkled from an evil conscience and our bodies washed with pure water. That is not a literal baptism. I'm going to do a video on baptism soon because it's a very interesting topic, especially two accounts, Luke and Matthew. Draw near with a true heart in full assurance of faith. So we'll see in the next verse what our faith is. Having our hearts sprinkled from an evil conscience and our bodies washed with pure water. That pure water is the life-giving water from Mount Horeb. That pure water is representative of the Ten Commandments. If you choose to enter into life, if you choose to baptize yourself with the life-giving water, then keep the commandments. Verse 23, let us hold fast the profession of our faith without wavering, for he is faithful that promised. That word profession in the Greek, homoglio, means covenant. Let us hold fast the covenant of our faith without wavering. What is the Holy Covenant? It's the Ten Commandments. And let us consider one another to provoke unto love and to good works. Provoke each other unto love. Love is the royal law. It is Leviticus 19:15 through 18, which is teaching the Ten Commandments. Good works, keeping and teaching the Ten Commandments, and receiving the meat and juice season. Not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together, as the manner of some is, but exhorting one another, and so much more, as ye see the day approaching. The assembling of ourselves is the weekly Sabbath. Christians don't keep it, the Jews don't keep it, the Torah movement don't keep it. Christians don't keep it because Jesus is our rest, Jesus is our Sabbath. What does Hebrews 4 say? If the Messiah Yeshua had given them rest, would he not afterward have spoken of another day? It is such a rhetorical question that there isn't even a question mark at the end of it. The Torah movement don't keep it because they follow Judah. They follow the Babylonian sunset to sunset Sabbath. And so much the more as you see the day approaching. The day is approaching, we're very close to that 1996.5 year mark where the tribulation starts, and then 3.5 years until the 2000 year when Yeshua sits on his throne. Verse 26, for if we sin willfully, after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remaineth no more sacrifice for sins. Once saved, always saved, destroyed. But those that push and teach and believe, once saved, always saved, haven't even received the knowledge of the truth. The knowledge of the truth is Jehovah's will. Jehovah's will is the Son's will because they are one. They are not the same, they are one. The knowledge of the truth is the refreshing of the covenant. There remain no more sacrifice for sins, but a certain fearful looking for of judgment and fiery indignation, which shall devour the adversaries. He that despised Moses' law died without mercy under 2 or 3 witnesses. Mercy. What is mercy? Mercy is the fulfilling of the royal law. Jehovah only shows mercy to those who show mercy. Of how much sorer punishment, sorry, very excitable spaniel. Of how much sorer punishment, suppose ye, shall he be thought worthy, who hath trodden under foot the Son of God, and hath counted the blood of the covenant of the holy covenant, of the refreshing of the covenant, wherewith he was sanctified an unholy thing, and have done despite unto the Spirit of grace. If grace is unmerited favour, how do you do despite unto it? You cannot. It's illogical. Yeah, you've been given over, many of you, well, the majority of you have been given over to a strong delusion. You're treading underfoot the Son of God and counting the blood of the covenant, the suffering that he had to go through, that he was prophesied to go through, to redeem us and bring us back into covenant. You're counting it as an unholy thing. Many Christians say to me and my brothers that we're teaching the law of sin and death. But the law of sin and death, thou shalt not murder, is death. So we're teaching the law of sin and death? Yeah, you're retarded. Verse 30, for we know him that hath said, vengeance belongeth unto me, I will recompense, saith the Lord. And again, the Lord shall judge his people. The Lord will judge you. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living God. But call to remembrance the former days, in which, after ye were illuminated, ye endured a great fight of afflictions, partly whilst ye were made a gazing stock, both by reproaches and afflictions. And those reproaches and afflictions, they come from the Torah movement, the Christian church and the Jews, whilst ye became companions of them that were so used. For ye had compassion of me in my bonds, and took joyfully the spoiling of your goods, knowing in yourself that ye have in heaven a better and enduring substance. Cast not away therefore your confidence, which hath great recompense of reward. In other words, keep fulfilling the royal law. They'll throw you in prison. They've done that to some of my brothers. They'll beat you up. Eventually they'll kill us. Some of us maybe. Depends on what Yah's will is for us. For ye have need of patience, that after ye have done the will of God, ye might receive the promise. What is the promise? The promise is the inheritance. And the promise was given to Abraham, but he didn't receive the inheritance. It was given to Isaac with the inheritance. That is the promise. And the land, the inheritance, is the people. That is the promise. For yet a little while, and he that shall come will come and will not tarry. 2 Peter 3:8. Be not 3:8 or 2:8. Be not ignorant of this one thing, that a day with the Lord is 1,000 years. Pointing us to Hosea 6:2, that he, Messiah Yeshua, will tarry for 2 days. If a day with the Lord is 1,000 years, that's 2,000 years. And on the third day he will raise us up and we will live in his sight. We're almost at that point. Now the just shall live by faith. None of you have faith. You don't. You don't have faith in who the Messiah is, what he was going to come and do, what the Father's will is. You don't have faith in the royal law. You don't have faith in the depths and the riches of Jehovah's mercy. But if any man draw back, if any man stumble, my soul shall have no pleasure in him. But we are not of them who draw back unto perdition, but of them that believe to the saving of the soul. I'll just keep going a little bit into Hebrews 11, because I think one of these verses was the verse of the day on that Apostate YouVersion Bible app. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for. Have not the faith of Yeshua with respect of persons, the things hoped for, people saved, the evidence of things not seen. For by it the elders obtained a good report. Through faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of God, so that the things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. Yeah, that's about it. Deuteronomy 4:27-31. You are going into great tribulation, the majority of you. In fact, that God will show you mercy even in great tribulation if you turn your ear to obeying him. And all he wants is the holy covenants of promise that Paul tells you, if you don't keep, you're without hope, you're without Christ, and you're without God. Aliens from the Commonwealth of Israel. 12 gates into New Jerusalem. 12 tribes. That's the Commonwealth of Israel. So even if, when you find yourselves in great tribulation, obey him. Yeah, don't murmur. He'll be sending the 144,000 down to punish you. We don't want that, do we?